Let me update my thing. All right. So make sure I'm live. Because I know you're a big alien person, right? Like you're into aliens and stuff, right?
Yes.
Okay. Hold on. Let me make sure this is loud enough. So did you see on let me just make sure I can, on the 6th, before all the riots were happening, did you see what that I think the military alien person, right? Like confirmed the there was like 6 UFOs in DC.
I didn't see that, but that's really interesting.
Yeah, I thought that was really interesting. Which kind of makes me wonder, like, there's like so much stuff with that's like really interesting. Because I heard I picked a guy up from work, because I work at Enterprise. And I picked the guy up, and he was running a car, and he's telling me how he worked for the government, and that the government has secret organizations that work with aliens at like one of the national parks.
Really?
And so it's like
national parks is where it would be. So.
What's that?
Oh, I think national parks is where they would hide something if they were.
Right. Yeah, and so he was telling me that that's where they hide the facilities. But then I got to thinking, like, well, what if the what do you call it? Like they were able to like had the ability to not necessarily weaponize, but like monitor people with like that kind of technology. I thought that was kind of interesting.
It is very interesting.
Let me see.
A lot of creepy.
That's where they had the facilities. But then I got to, yeah. Is there any way you could like turn up your volume a little bit?
Let me adjust my gain.
There we go.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's so much better.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay, yeah. I have it turned down because of how I record. Rocky, stop eating that. Where'd you get that? Sorry. He likes to get into my trash.
Yeah. Is that your that one you what's the Shibu, or what are they pronounced?
Shiba Inu. Well,
Yeah.
she does too, but so does the Thai Ridgeback.
Oh, okay. That's way cool. So what's what? Tell me about your channel. Like what big plans you got going on?
Oh, I've been working on getting longer videos out, and I've been working with the Ominous Darkness, a writer from No Sleep and the Library of Shadows. He is also a fellow mod on Two Sentence Horror.
Oh wow.
He has given me full permission to read all of his stories. I don't have to ask anymore, which is pretty neat. So I've been working my way through a few of those.
Okay.
Like Girl Scout Cookies, the one I just did. That was one of his.
Oh yeah.
Very talented writer.
Nice. I dig it. That's really cool. Nice. What are your goals for this year for your channel?
I would like to reach, well, at least 3,000 subscribers. I think that'd be really neat. Just get better at the consistency in my uploads. You know, get busy, and it's hard to be consistent sometimes. So
Right.
I'd like to work on that.
Right. I do know that you and Monsters on My Mind have like a very determined upload schedule, which I greatly envy. Because what I'll do is like I won't do anything for like 3 weeks, and then like one weekend I'll just lock myself in the room for like 12 hours and crank out like a 20-minute video. And everyone hates me for it, so.
Oh.
Well, like my family, because they're all wanting to like hang out and stuff. They're like, "Hey, what's going on?"
Nope, leave me alone.
Yeah.
I'm reading to myself in a dark room.
I'm talking scary stories to no one but me. So. Yeah.
Just the only time I can read properly.
Oh, I can't. I have to edit everything. I tried doing I did like a warm-up live stream, like 20 minutes ago. I was just mispronouncing everything. It was pretty sad.
Yeah, I read pretty well when I'm sitting here by myself, but as soon as I'm holding something in my hands in front of someone trying to read,
Right.
you think I'm illiterate.
Right.
It's great fun.
Yeah. I had a guy come in. So I work like I work like 3 out of the 4 Saturdays. Like we're supposed to alternate, but we don't. But I had a guy come in today, and he was like reading over my shoulder, and I could not type for the life of me. It was really embarrassing.
Oh,
But
that
yeah.
only happens when someone else is watching, and other than that, everything always goes smoothly.
I told him a few times. I was like, I swear I can spell. I swear. He's like, all right, yeah, of course, of course. Let's see here. So you got any videos in the mix? Anything to look forward to soon?
I do. I'm working on a story called Scavengers. Another favorite author of mine on Library of Shadows is Head of Spectre.
Ooh.
He has some really interesting, a bit different, usually not safe for work stories.
Okay.
But he writes some really, really great stuff. The other night when I couldn't sleep, that's the one I started recording.
Huh.
Should be about a 40-minute story.
Wow. I remember you used to write some things. Do you still write? Are you still writing?
I am not. I do not have a great deal of creativity, unfortunately.
Huh. I feel like you'd be a good writer. I don't know why I feel that way, but I feel like your stories are like very, I think I mentioned this last time, but like intellectually stimulating, which is another way of saying like I'm not very bright, and I find your stories like, oh wow, that's a lot. So yeah, I don't know. That'd be something.
I've been talking with Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead. That's fine.
Oh, I've been talking with one of my author friends about turning a lot of my stories into well-written stories.
Okay.
Because he's a better writer than I am.
Oh yeah.
That, as well as I keep a dream log, and I have super weird weird dreams.
Wow.
Turning that into stories.
I feel like a dream log would be like a treasure trove for like material.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, especially like you got. I mean, there's like I feel like I'm a fairly like normal person, and I still get pretty messed up dreams.
Yeah, I'll have some super weird ones once in a while. I don't dream terribly often, but as soon as I wake up, if I remember my dream, I go into my notes app, and I just have a section for dreams. Huh. That's always interesting.
That's crazy. Do you remember that one thing? What was it? I told you my alien abduction story that I thought I dreamt, and you're like, hey, I had the exact same dream. Just about everything was the exact same. And I was like, that is bizarre.
That was very bizarre.
I think about that actually quite a bit. I'm not, you know what? And the crazy thing is like I often forget about that, and then like something will like trigger it, and then I remember it fully again.
The conversation or the dream?
The dream. Like I'll completely forget about the dream, and then like a certain sound, like a whirring of like a machine. Will
That's very interesting.
Yeah, and then it'll like, you know, I'll have full memory of that scenario where, you know, I felt like I was abducted. Which is interesting.
Yeah, it is very interesting. But I know what you mean, because sometimes I'll, like, something will trigger the memory for me as well. Like, oh, hey, that one dream I used to have when I was a kid, that was really creepy and weird, and then I'll just start really thinking about it again.
Right. Well, cool. You know, something I've noticed with like other, like I don't know. Do you watch it's Jensen? Do you follow him?
Once in a while, yeah.
I've noticed he's blowing up a lot, and I'm trying to think. So there's another guy that's out there that's blowing up a lot, but
I know.
it's like they're getting like 100 subs a day, which is like a ton. Oh, uh, gosh dang it, Matt Chatter, his secondary channel.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he got like 3,000 subs last month.
Oh, geez.
Like in 1 month.
What's he doing?
He's doing ASMR.
What?
Yes. Yes, I recommend, especially for you, I think you'd kick some serious butt in ASMR.
I'm gonna have to give that a try because 3,000 subs in a month. Wow.
Yeah, I thought about it, and then I'm like, well, I'm not very stimulating, so I'll stick with my stories. But yeah, I thought because I was talking to him and I saw that and I was like, oh my gosh, dude, it took me so long, like I've like had to like scratch my way to the top for that, and it's like he got it in 1 month. I was like, wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, there's a huge market out there for ASMR.
Yeah.
It's very
Yeah.
interesting. I've had people suggest that to me before, but I've never actually thoroughly considered it, I guess.
Yeah. Well, it's like, it's I thought about it, and it's just, well, that's just like for me, it's just like I'm not passionate about like that kind of stuff. Like I've listened to it like once or twice, but like I really like the stories. But it gets a ridiculous amount of views for the kind of what do you call it? For like the effort that goes into it. Because I don't know about you, but like me putting together like a 20-minute video takes me like a legit like 3 or 4 hours.
Oh, absolutely. Me too.
And that's whether I'm writing the story or recording, editing. Yeah, it's quite a bit. Someone asked me in the comments, what is ASMR? And I had to Google it, because I remember it's something. I just do not remember.
I don't remember what it stands for.
Yeah, that's what I was going to Google. ASMR is... Okay, it is Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response, which doesn't sound very natural. So I'm going to write that in the chat. I'm just gonna copy and paste it, actually. What are some good creepastas you like?
Oh, the classics, of course. I listened to a Slender Man one earlier.
Yeah.
It's Mr. Creepypasta's tenure, so he's been going back through and reading some of his originals. So I listened to a Slender Man earlier, and that was good. Pen Pals is really good. I really, really enjoyed when Beatbuster did the showers.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That was really captivating. Left Right Game, a lot of like the big classics.
Yeah, I like those ones. Yeah.
What are your favorites?
I remember where I was when I first read the Slender Man one, and that was like back before like the internet was like aware of like what creepypastas were, at least, or maybe I didn't understand what was going on. But like I remember reading it and I thought it was real, and I was telling my teacher about it, and I'm like, oh yeah, I can't tell you about this thing that's going on, because if I do, it will alert him to you. And she's like, she was getting freaked out. She's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, and then, then I found out it was fake. I'm like, oh, never mind. But she was getting like really worried. She thought that I was like in a cult. And I'm like, oh, I can't talk about it. I'm like, no, it's just a story. Anyways, it's really funny.
Yeah, I remember when I first read about Slender Man. I think I want to say 21. I was in Nanny. I live in Nanny. I was home alone. I watched a baby. He was 6-7 months old. And everyone was gone. It was just me and him. I think he was taking a nap. So I'm sitting there on the couch reading about Slender Man. I don't even know how I came across it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's things like it affects power, the electricity, and things like that when he's nearby. And the power went out while this was going on, while I was reading about this. I was absolutely terrified. Like,
The power went out while you were reading Slender Man.
Yep, while I was reading about Slender Man. Well, it was also the middle of winter where I
Oh.
live, so the power sometimes goes out in town. But yeah, I'm reading about how Slender Man, like when he's around, it affects electricity, and then my power goes out.
Oh wow.
I was like, oh, it's time. It's time.
Yep, he's coming. That's terrifying. That reminds me of the time. Well, I think there's actually a connection to this, but my family was watching the movie Paranormal Activity, and my younger sister at the time, she asked my dad, hey, are ghosts real? And at that exact moment, a huge box in my basement fell off a shelf and hit like
Oh
one
my
of the support
goodness.
beams in the house and shook the whole house. And we were all just like, what? And yeah, that was I don't know. Yeah, I don't know whether that's a freaky coincidence or like that was something letting us know. I don't know.
That is really, yeah, that would scare me pretty well. I don't know
Yeah.
if I could
It was also
deal
scary.
with that.
Well, it's scary too because my room was in the basement, so I was like, oh boy.
Oh, that's even worse. I couldn't live in a basement.
Yeah.
I lived in a house once that had the washer and dryer in the basement, as well as it used to have a furnace that was fed. I don't think they used it anymore, but the furnace was fed by coal.
Oh wow.
So there's a coal room. Absolutely terrifying to do laundry. I hated it so much.
Oh yeah. It had coal. Wow. Interesting. Let's see here. I'm trying to find like a good short creepasta I could read, and it would be interesting. This one's trending. I don't know if it's any good. Have you heard the one They Know I'm Here Now?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at the creepy pasta wiki very much.
I came across a new one, which I thought was very interesting. It was called, what was it? Phantoms and Monsters. Like that, and it's like a blog. And it's got tons, and I'm talking tons of stories on there. I'm gonna send you the link.
You have to look that up.
It's
Yay.
insane. And I checked like how many people view it, and it's like 30 million people viewed it. Like it's a ton. Yeah, let me send that to you.
It would be kind of cool to start finding stories from a different source.
Yeah.
Because while they're good, a lot of stories like No Sleep and even Library of Shadows, which does have a bit more variety, it gets to be a little repetitive.
Right. Yeah. It's
So it'd
yeah.
need to find other places.
Yeah. Well, and then I've kind of like pigeonholed myself a little bit where like most of the stories I write are just certain elements just recycled in different ways.
And to a certain point, there's only so many ways you can write a story.
Right.
Or like, especially if there's like themes you enjoy doing, things like that, there's always going to be similarities.
Right. Let me post. There, I sent you the link through Twitter.
Oh, neat. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh wow, Jensen's in the chat. I didn't even realize that. That's awesome. We were just talking about him. That's crazy. Ears must have been burning. That's really cool. I saw, I didn't realize this, but he has a TikTok, and,
I've been following him on TikTok for quite a while.
so I just downloaded it. I'm not gonna use it just because, but like, I saw a thing. I have this app called iFunny, and I love it. And someone, what?
Oh, I just laughed.
Oh yeah, so it's called iFunny, and someone had a TikTok from Jensen, and it showed the TikTok, and then it had Jensen. I'm like, it threw me off because I'm like, I'm not used to seeing him in this genre. Like, I'm used to seeing him in, like YouTube horror. So I thought that was really interesting. Seeing him cross platforms
Yeah,
like that, like on different genres, like
oh,
I thought that was really cool.
oh yeah, and yeah, I believe he's over 100,000 subscribers on TikTok.
Oh, is he really? I believe it.
Oh, he blew up really big in the
I
past
believe
couple
it.
months.
Yeah.
I have, I think, almost 4,000 subscribers on TikTok.
Oh my
But
gosh.
I
I need to get.
don't tell anyone about it. I also found a Lighthouse Horror.
He's on
He
TikTok.
has over 200,000. Yeah,
Are you?
I was scrolling through my stuff the other day, and I was like, no way. And then he doesn't let people message him unless they're like friends on the app or whatever. But so I commented on one of his YouTube videos. I was like, dude, I found you on TikTok the other day.
That's
He's like,
hilarious.
oh yeah, I've had that. It's like, you're a really successful TikToker, and I had no idea.
That's really funny. I
Oh,
had
yeah,
no idea. Well, because he always complains about Twitter, and I'm like, there's no way. There's no way he's, if he's struggling on Twitter, man, then he must. Jeez, that's really funny. 200,000. That's a lot.
Yeah, it was like 214,000.
I wonder what the
subscribers or
correlation
followers
is.
on TikTok.
I wonder what the correlation is with. I want to Google. I want to, or not Google. I want to look up his like. I wonder what the correlation is with his YouTube channel. Because last time I looked, I think it was.
he's.
Yeah, he's at 26
I can't remember where he's at, but
subs, which is a lot. I if I got 26, man. What point? Let me ask you this, Deadleaf. What point would you go full time YouTube?
it would have to be 50, 60,000.
Really?
Just, it'd have to be something to where, my lifestyle's sustainable, and I would have to be confident in YouTube, which it's really hard to do. Just, I've watched Let's Read, Your Maker, people like that get demonetized just like that. And they're all of a sudden, what am I going to do? What the hell? I don't know why this happened. And it's just, I don't know if I could fare well with that instability.
Oh, really? That's you bring up a good point. Maybe it's just maybe I'm so thirsty to be not working 50 hours a week.
That is understandable.
Yeah, I don't know, but I think who was I talking to? Maybe it was Slumber Reads. He was saying once he hit 20,000, he went full time, and now he's at like 80,000, which is huge.
Oh yeah.
And I think and the logic behind that is once you go full time, then you have more time to do. You can crank out videos. Like today, I cranked out 2 videos, which it was like. In actuality, it was really 1 because I already had the one done. But yeah, I mean, it took me all day to do it. So, to be able to crank out,
I think
videos.
Oh,
go ahead.
I think probably after a while you get into like when you're able to do it full time, you get into a rhythm with it and are able to do so much more.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would be really fun. I really enjoy narrating, but I think it'd just be a really long time before it was practical.
Right. Well, I think too. I don't know if you. I know you're a big fan of Let's Read. I'm a huge fan. I'm like a fangirl to Let's. I probably listen to him once a day. Like I'm not even. Like I probably. I watch so many ads for that dude. Like it's not even crazy. Like it's so crazy. But I watched one of his live streams, and it had the inverse effect of mine, where he had like a few thousand people watching, and it was like his birthday or something, and I think he made just from that live stream he made like $3,000 just from like tips.
Oh yeah.
Which is like
a lot of people like, and I'll do that too on his birthday. Like I'll pop in once in a while. I used to go to his live streams religiously, but
yeah.
But then I also I listened to him on Patreon, and because I support him on Patreon during live streams sometimes, and watch his videos, and
Mm-hmm.
it just gets to be like, well, I'm just gonna watch the video when it comes out on YouTube because
Right.
that way the stories aren't ruined. But it is, his live streams are fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
I remember hearing about him 2017, and someone's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go home and watch." This was back when I was working at Jimmy John's, and it was the night shift. And he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go home and watch Let's Read," and I was like, "Oh, what's that?" And I hopped on. My favorite are his ghost stories.
I love it when he does paranormal.
Yeah, those are my favorite. And I gotta talk you into doing. If you did, like, I'm telling you, like, Deadleaf, I'm telling you, if you do like a 1 hour paranormal video, like, you will get tons of views on that. I'm telling you. And I know that's asking a lot. I mean, I probably alone would watch it like 500 times.
I have thought about, because I just do like dark horror, no sleep, and whatever.
Right.
I have thought about going to, because things like Swamp Dweller, he does cryptids, skinwalkers, all that. That's his big thing. I have thought about switching over to paranormal,
Yeah.
just to mix it up, because everything I've done, like, started out with a mix of no sleep and creepypasta,
Yeah.
and then just did no sleep and dark horror stories. But
Yeah. Well, I think like the genres you can really branch out. Like, I don't feel confined to a certain genre, even though I beat the Skinwalker cryptid things to death. But I mean, people watch them.
That's one of my favorite.
Yeah, but they watch them. Like, so many people watch them, and it's like a ton. And like, I even have to ask myself, I'm like, am I beating this to death? But it's like, people love them. I had one person actually yesterday message me. He's like, "This is all you do." And I'm like, "Hey, I know." Like, my views like literally go up 10 times the amount when I do those. So, but yeah, it's I love the ghost stories. I'm trying to think of like a good one I heard. There was one where the Let's Read covered, where it was this family, and they were really poor, and they moved into this house, and it had several entities in it, and like one of them was like very violent physically, and that one always spooked me because it would like choke people in their sleep and stuff, and they'd wake up and they couldn't breathe, and there'd be like this woman over them, and yeah, it's and it's like I listen to those every night, and I freaking love them.
Oh yeah, me too. Like, Let's Read, being scared. Well, not so much being scared now that I edit for him, so
Yeah.
I hear his voice a lot.
Right. It's like going to
Which I don't get tired of it. But
it's like going to
I'm
eat
sorry.
at like a restaurant you work at.
Yes, I still listen to his videos, but it's not my go to sleep to anymore, because also that makes his voice make me tired.
Yeah.
So then I fall asleep while I'm editing.
Right.
But my go-tos for going to sleep are sometimes Monsters in My Mind when he uploads. I like his voice.
I love his voice. His voice is so good.
It is. And then also Slumber Reads.
Oh yeah.
It used to be consistently Mortis Media.
Yeah.
But then I switched over to Slumber.
Yeah, big fan of Slumber. I listened to Mortis Media. I did this drive. It was like 9 hours. I put his stuff on, and yeah, I like his stuff. He's good. It's interesting to see like the difference of like different narrators. Like, I feel like each narrator has a different thing they bring to the table, and like different things I enjoy. Like, I like B-Busta's voice. I like Let's Read's like, I feel like Let's Read has like a great production. Like, he has like cool intros. He's got cool stories.
Oh yeah.
I remember Your Maker. He was like the first dude I listened to. I don't know. He kind of got me hooked on it. I'm trying to think. I remember the first video I watched of what's his face? Being Scared. I remember that one because I thought I'm pretty sure. I mean, it wasn't a real story, but I mean, I remember listening to it thinking it was at first, and I was like, "Whoa, that's a freaky story." Yeah, it was, and ever since then I've been watching his stuff, and I like him. But Monsters in My Mind, he's got a great voice. I'm just waiting for him. I don't know what it's gonna take, but like he's just gonna take off one day and just leave all of us in the dust. I love his voice.
Oh yeah, his voice and he is so consistent.
Oh my gosh. Oh
and
yeah.
it's real, like he has to be really sick for him to not be consistent.
Yeah, he's killing it. Yeah, and then I remember before you and I became really good friends that I would listen to you a lot, and then I joined. I remember Mad Chatter invited me to Twitter, and I joined the Taco Party chat, and we became friends that way. But I remember I was I still do watch your stuff religiously. I love it.
And I think I first saw you on. Weren't you on Bad Vibes?
I was. It was funny because I was on Bad Vibes, and I was also with We Shouldn't Be Here.
Oh, yep. I used to work with him a few times. He's great.
Yeah.
He's actually tattooing now.
Is he? I think I saw that on Twitter. That was really cool.
Yeah, he posts about it on Instagram all the time. He is no longer a mailman, and he is tattooing. He's actually doing really well.
Wow.
He does good stuff.
Wow. I know he started an art channel, and it was doing very well.
And he did that for a while, and he's still uploading on We Shouldn't Be Here.
Yeah.
It's not terribly frequently, but he's still growing so much. Like, I don't know if it was 70 or 80,000 he just surpassed.
Oh wow.
But it was one of those.
Yeah. Well,
he does. Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, he'll do like 4-hour videos.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Well, the algorithm is so weird because I did a video, and it must have caught the algorithm perfectly because it got a ton of views. And then I was like, oh sweet, longer the better. And then I did one even longer than that, and it didn't do quite as well. Still did well. And so I'm like, I don't know what the algorithm's deal is, But the more videos you put out there, the better. But I definitely know the longer the videos, like my 20-minute, 30-minute stuff doesn't get terribly long durations or terribly long many views. But like once you get into that hour, 2-hour area, like it just for some reason it just doubles.
I used to try really hard. Like I was every single day of the week after work. That's all I did. Get the 2-hour videos every week.
Mm-hmm.
When I first started out, I was pretty consistent with having, at the very least, 1.5 hour long videos every week. But
oh wow.
It was exhausting, and I did that for a while, and I just wore myself down.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Have you ever deleted any of your videos before?
I don't think so.
All of your stuff still up?
I should, but no, I haven't. My very first video is just absolute garbage, but
oh, wow.
It's still there.
That's really funny. I've deleted about probably 30 videos.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
They were not ready. Well, it was funny because Monsters in My Mind, he gave me some tips, and I got a new microphone for my birthday 2 birthdays ago, and so I was just using headphones prior to that, and so I mean it's just night and day, the difference. So I was like, yeah, I should probably just. So what I did is I redid them, but I just compiled them into longer videos, but I re-narrated everything and all that. So yeah, but I have a solid 30 videos that I just straight up deleted. Let's see.
I need to.
Oh, go ahead.
Re-record. Oh, I need to re-record some.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Did you get that link I sent you? The Phantoms and Monsters.
Yes.
Nice. I found a little thing. I think I'll read. It's not terribly long. It's like, how many paragraphs is it? Like maybe 7 paragraphs. I was gonna read it really quick and then we could talk about it. It's multiple alien encounters, possible abduction, and experimentation in coming Georgia. Sounds exciting. What are your thoughts on?
It does sound exciting.
Yeah, I feel like abduction and experimentation go hand in hand.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. Let's see. Okay, here it is. I'll read it really quick. Back in June 18th, 2019, my friend and I, while at my house in Cumming, Georgia, experienced an alien encounter and a possible abduction. The 2 weeks prior to this event, I had this feeling at my house in which I lived alone with my dog and cat, that I was always being watched. I could not seem to catch the shadow figures that seemed to be everywhere, but nowhere in my house. I'd catch black figures and slight shadows outside my windows and bushes. I'd see a white orb floating around that were very clearly different from fireflies. I'd see a white light floating behind me on one of the rose bushes. That night I'd gone to the restroom. My friend had let my dog off the back porch where she chased something that wasn't there. She proceeded to chase it until the start of the small section of woods that I'd seen other shadows had disappeared into. When I walked out the door, I heard my dog growling at something that neither of us could see at that moment. Walking down to her, she had all of her hair standing up on her body, and when I gave the command to go track or find whatever, peering into the woods, not seeing my dog or anything, we heard a shuffle in the fallen leaves. Then what seemed to be a high-pitched screech, louder than a jet engine that would sound. After we went inside and tried just watching some TV and hanging out from then on, it sounded like little pebbles or something was tapping on the side of the house and windows. About 30 minutes later, I walked out to my back porch to put some clothes in the dryer. It's kind of a weird place to have your dryer. While in the laundry room, my friend, standing on the back deck, started insisting that we need to get inside now. We were seeing floating orbs around and a distant figure standing on the edge of the woods, only being able to see its shape. We proceeded back inside, and from there, it got even worse. My friend got the vibe and feeling that he didn't want to sleep on my couch, so I let him crash in my bed with me. After turning out the lights and the TV, the whole house seemingly started vibrating. The sounds of things hitting off my house became more intense. The glasses in the kitchens were vibrating. We could both hear them in the cabinet. Sounds of languages and conversations that we could not understand start happening. Bumps and bangs in the back of my house, where nothing was on and locked off from my animals through the night. My dog laying in bed with us seemed to start to growl, then just stopped like something calmed her. After that I tried to sleep, and my friend said he was going to try and meditate. After that, I can slightly remember not being able to move, and a white light peering through my closed eyelids. The flickering of figures filling in and around the bedroom. At the same time, me and my friend both popped up, and when the lights came on, both of us had the looks of sensory overload, like someone just hit a reset on our brains. We tried to go to sleep with the lights on, when the same thing happened again. We both arose again at the same time. We looked at each other and said, "We need to get the F out now." Backing out of my driveway, we both seemingly picked up a figure with some sort of owl-like face standing in the woods. We left the house for the night. My friend went to a person who is open about these sort of things. She took him to a spiritual cleanser who listened to his story and said that it was out of her league. After meeting up the day after, we both seemed to have IV prick marks on our arms in the same locations, also bruises and scratches. He had a mark on his side that looked like a medical device implanted something. That was interesting.
That was interesting. I like it.
Yeah, I love that kind of stuff. And that's the thing too, is like that, the experience I had wasn't nearly as intense as that, but I thought that was interesting, the whole vibrating the house thing. I think about that kind of stuff and I'm like, well, what kind of technology, like what's like, what's the purpose of like vibrating the house? Maybe there was like some kind of, I don't know, like some kind of device they used to like subdue the two dudes or something, and it caused the house to vibrate. I don't know.
Oh, my sound cut out for a second. I did not hear what you said. I am sorry.
Oh, I was just saying, like I thought it was interesting how it was vibrating, like the different things. And I was thinking,
That
like,
is interesting.
I was like, well, what's like the purpose behind that? If there was like a device or something they used to like subdue the two dudes and it caused a vibration. Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting. Let's see. Let me see if I can find something else. What's like a good let's see. Do you think like shadow figures and aliens are tied together? Do you think there's something with that, or do you think they're like two different things?
I've actually never thought about that before. That's a really interesting concept.
Because this is what I was thinking at first. Like when I first thought about shadow people, I thought they were more of like demon entities kind of thing. I thought they were like related to ghosts, but then the more I think about it, they're like shadow people. What if they were like, I don't know if you saw Interstellar, but like what if they're like in a different dimension, and that's how they appear to us, like the aliens that are in a different dimension, like they appear to us as shadows, like we can't process, or like they can't, properly be formatted in this dimension or something. I don't know. And that's how they appear,
That would be really interesting. I have thought about the aliens being part of a different dimension thing before.
Yeah. Yeah, that's yeah, I've also thought about like the concept of like aliens and ghosts being a thing. Like, could there be ghosts on like different planets, or like are aliens aware of like what ghosts are? Maybe they have like a better concept of it, Because I remember reading like a tabloid, like like those newspapers, like when you go to like the checkout line, it's just got like a ridiculous headline where it's like the Queen of England is a lizard or something,
Yep.
I
I
saw
know exactly
one.
what you're talking about.
Yeah, I saw one where it was like ghost aliens haunt the the highway, or Area 51 highway or whatever, and like the ghosts of the aliens were like haunting it. And I was like, that's a really interesting thing. I never thought about that before.
I haven't either. That's gives me a whole new bunch of really interesting things to think about.
Yeah. And then I was watching my family. They're funny. We like to play cards and put on like ghost stories or like Bigfoot stories in the background of one of the things we were watching. They thought there was a connection between Bigfoot and aliens. And now I think about it, which is kind of interesting, because the one guy I was telling you about that, quote unquote, worked for the government, said that the aliens that worked at the what do you call it, the national parks, would test people and like try to make hybrids of us, like, to like integrate us into like integrate the aliens or whatever into our society. And it's like, well, what if they tried to integrate with like something that wasn't human? Like, what if they tried like an ape, and like that's what Bigfoot was like an alien integrated into an ape, and that's why we can't ever catch him, because he's got like the technology to not be found or whatever.
Like the invisibility cloaking kind of stuff.
Yeah, I thought about that. I was like, it's a fun thing to think about.
It is really fun to think about. Because there's so many things that people are like, just, yeah, I have absolutely seen this, but then we can't get, verifiable proof. But what if it's something like what you're saying? That would actually make sense.
Yeah, because it's I try to be like as scientific as possible when I come to these things, but I'll tell you, like whenever you're out at night, out camping or whatever, all that logic seems to like fly off, and it's like, yeah, things become a lot more possible when it's late at night, and you're in a tent or something, or you're by a campfire, and you're like, you know what, that seems something that could definitely be a thing.
Oh yeah, I absolutely agree.
Let's see here. What else? What's another interesting? Let's see. There's one here I'm coming across. It says actuality of invisible alien beings. Something I thought was interesting. You know, the whole concept of like the Greys. Like that's like their. Oh wow, we have being scared in the chat. That's huge.
Oh, hey, neat. Hi.
We were just talking about him too. How awesome he is. That's really cool.
Well, you have a super cool channel.
Well, it's mainly probably because you're here.
I'm not very cool.
I think you're way cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's something I like about our community as well. Like, in actuality, like, I think it's safe to say all of us are pretty dorky, but like we support each other. Like, I feel like that's what we have in common. Is we're just all really dorky. We accept it.
I think so too. I like it. I really like the community. It's one of the few places I've integrated into and felt like accepted as the weirdo that I am, because I'm a raging weirdo.
Well, and that's the thing too. That's really cool. It's like it's not like it's like an outlier kind of thing. It's not like we're like, oh, like sweet, there's Deadleaf. She's the weirdo in the group. It's like, no, like you're normal to us. Like, you know, everyone's, you know, normal. I think that's really cool.
I think so too. I really enjoy that.
Well, and it's just like I remember growing up and everyone being crazy about Christmas and like, oh, it's so magical. But like I felt like with Halloween, I literally felt like, oh my gosh, this is like the most magical night. Like you could literally be anything. People give you candy like that. Like that was like so magical to me. I don't know why.
Oh, I've always been way more. Halloween's the only holiday I get excited for, even now. Like as a kid, I was always way more. Even though I only went trick or treating a handful of times, but I always was just so much more excited for Halloween. And
Yeah.
I'm just a huge fall time person.
Yeah. I think yeah. Well, I like to see like especially with like the horror movies, like how far we've come with horror, like watching like a Michael Myers movie versus like I mean, just like the different types of horror, even it's so interesting. I like how we've taken like different concepts. We've gone from like slasher films, which you know I feel like are like the golden era of like scary movies, to now we're like going into like cosmic horror with like Bird Box. We've got like psychological horror with like Hereditary. Like we've gotten so like many cool little off branches of different horror genres. And it's, you know, it's a time. What a time to be alive, you know.
Right? No, I absolutely agree. And like horror is like my thing. Like I've been told people wouldn't guess that by how I look in real life, but
Right.
like I am just a absolute horror fanatic.
Yeah.
It's the only thing I like to watch. I drive my boyfriend crazy because he likes to watch like action movies or something like that.
Yeah.
Nope, it's poor.
Right. Well, you know what's interesting? So my wife, she's a huge sci-fi fan, and so if I can kind of like, if I can bridge the gap and be like, oh, this is a sci-fi movie, and it's like a horror, like Prometheus or Alien or something, it's not a big deal. But like any like straight up horror movies, she refuses to watch. And so, have you seen the movie The Descent?
Yes. Oh
it
my
is
God.
so good. I got her to watch it because I'm like, oh, it's these beings under Earth and they morphed, and I made it seem scientific, and she watched it and she was like, yeah, this is great, I love it, and I'm like, this is actually really scary.
I remember the first time I watched that, back when Netflix mailed you DVDs. I was 16 at my friend's house spending the night, and there's a couple of us having sleepover. We were just terrified. Oh my goodness. And we had to go out after the movie, and it's like 10 o'clock at night. We had to walk across her yard because she had kind of a farm and go feed the dogs. The most terrifying experience of my life.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
That's
Kinda.
awesome. I remember going to Blockbuster, and we grabbed the Jeepers Creepers. and I remember it was we grabbed the Jeepers Creepers and some other DVDs, and we watched the first intro part to Jeepers Creepers where he was putting the bodies down that little chute thing.
Yeah.
And then my parents were like, "All right, it's time for bed," and we had to like go to bed with that. We're like, "What's going on?" So like whenever I see like a truck like that, like a raggedy truck, I always think about being wrapped up in a blanket and shoved down a pipe into the earth.
There's a truck in town where I live that it's just every time I see it, I just think this looks just like the Jeepers Creepers truck.
Yeah.
And it's always parked in random places. I kind of almost think someone lives in it. It's weird out here, but always reminds me of Jeepers Creepers.
Yeah. Yeah. I always think about whenever I see those kind of trucks, it reminded me of like a thing I saw where it's like just think about like how many serial killers we've come across and we just like didn't realize, or like how many houses have we driven past where someone's tied up in the basement, you know? I always think about that.
I've thought about that too, like, and it's kind of creepy to think about, really.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it is really creepy to think
Oh, yeah.
about.
It's like, yeah, there's probably a dude tied up in your basement right now.
If I had a basement, there'd be someone tied up in it right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. If I had same here. Yeah, I always think about that. Let's see. That's the fun thing about these streams is like we just get going on these random tangents and like it's like trying to stop a train. It's just like it takes a little bit to get going, but like once like it's just like a huge wormhole and we just go deeper and deeper. Let's see.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking. So we talked about like a ton of YouTubers and like obviously we talked about Jensen. We talked about being scared, and they showed up. Have you? This reminded me. Have you heard of any of what's his name? Corpse Husband. You know he does like music, right?
Yeah.
I had no idea, and it's like really really good.
Oh, it's all over TikTok.
It's
I watch a lot of TikToks.
Does being scared do TikTok?
I have no idea. He doesn't strike me as a TikToker, but neither did Lighthouse. So
Lighthouse, I thought for sure was anti-TikTok. That surprises me big time.
that's why I was super surprised to see him on there with, over 200,000 followers.
That's crazy. That's
And
insane.
it's a little.
Well, now I have to add you, and I have to like get into that now. I have to.
Oh, but I have really cringy TikToks.
Oh,
Jensen follows me on TikTok.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll forget that people that I know off of TikTok follow me on TikTok. And then like, oh, this is awkward.
Oh yeah. You should you should like make a plug, like be subtle, be like, hey, you should go check out my YouTube. I have a pretty killer YouTube.
I have it linked to my YouTube.
Yeah.
But I think like maybe 3 people have gone and followed me off of TikTok.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I did.
That's
Yeah, it's.
yeah.
I don't know how I got.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I don't know how I got almost 4,000 subscribers doing just dumb things. And I put hours of work into my YouTube videos, and I have
Right.
just 2,000.
Right.
Which is fine. I do it because it's fun.
Right.
But it would be kind of cool. To
Yeah.
have more, but I'd also have, if I put the effort in, I'd have more. But I'm
Yeah.
lazy.
Yeah, that's just like the way it goes. That's really funny that you mentioned that. Like, yeah, I mean, I plug, like, it's funny too. Like even like the videos I work the hardest on, it gets so little attention. But like the ones where I'm like, that's whatever. It just for some reason people love it.
Yeah, there's one video I put up that's not it's not safe for work. It's from Head of Spectre, and I just did it. It was something different, and I did enjoy doing it. But due to the title of the story, I think I'd posted about it in our Twitter chat.
Oh yeah.
I have like 3,000 views on it, which is just blows all my other ones out. And I almost didn't even put it public.
I think I know which one you're talking about. I gotta look it up now. It's gonna drive me nuts. I know.
And the search results that people search and find it with are, I put screenshots in our Twitter chat, but it's like this is the one. This is the one people choose.
Yeah.
I didn't even try on this one.
That's really funny. That's really funny. Let's see. I gotta find that video. That's really funny, actually. Was it like I know it's, what was it? It wasn't you that was like, I live next door to MILF, right?
No. No. Yeah, I have 3.4 thousand views on it,
Oh my gosh, that's
which
hilarious.
is my best video next to the one that Bbusta promoted in his community page.
Oh yeah? Which one was that?
It was the I kept seeing faces,
Oh.
6 horrifying creepypastas. But yeah, I did not expect that story to take off.
That's really funny. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't. I'm. I really want to start getting like something I really like about Lighthouse Horror is like his stories are like super cool, but they're also like super random, which is like totally cool. Because it's like none of the stories have like connections at all. Like mine are typically themes towards like a creature in the woods or something. Where his is just like, yeah, this town is taken over by aliens, or this is what's going on here. I think that'd be like such, and he's done super well, obviously. But it's like to be able to get to that point where like you don't even really need to have like a theme thing. Like you can just have whatever it is, and like people just eat it up like it's crazy. Like that's something like where I want to be.
I think that would be really cool. Like whatever you put out, people are like, "Yeah, this is awesome."
Yeah, cause like my stuff greatly varies. Like, and I think that's also like a sign of like a great YouTuber is like how consistent people watch their videos. Like, I'd much rather have like all my videos get like 1,000 views rather than have one video get 60,000 and the rest get like 200.
Yeah, just have that consistent level.
Yeah.
I pretty consistently get around 200 views,
Yeah.
usually less, but
Yeah. I think this year I'm starting to put like I made a separate account like with my bank for like all the ad revenue I make, and I'm gonna start putting like ads out. I think on because I remember Monster in My Mind said he was gonna do that, and I think he like his video did really well. So I wonder if I just put the money I make through ads into that, if that would be beneficial. You know. I don't know what your
that would
thoughts
be
are.
really interesting.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what, I don't know if that's what bigger YouTubers do. I don't know. Like, I personally believe like if I could have gone back to like 2013 and started then, like that wouldn't be necessary. Like things would just do well. Like I feel like in order to start doing well in this kind of era of YouTube horror, like that's kind of what you have to do. But I don't know.
Yeah,
Oh.
I don't feel like I'm very good at doing well on it.
Yeah.
I feel like I kind of like get by with, there's the same people that always comment on my videos, and
Yeah.
I'm happy with that to a point. Like, I think that's cool.
Yeah.
Just having the consistent people enjoying what I'm doing.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. Do you have, I'm looking at your channel here and it says you have merch. Have you had much success with that?
Not one.
Really?
I haven't even looked at it in forever. I made that sometime last year, but like the year before last year.
Oh, yeah.
So I need to go through and, why is it set to being in pounds? Or euros, I'm not even sure.
From across the pond. That's funny. I've always thought about that. I've seen people do them, and
Oh,
yeah.
wait, I have a VPN on, that's why. Sorry.
I feel like if you could get a hold of like a really good like graphic artist, like you could like that would be like another thing I'm looking into, like that. And I also wanted to run this past you. What are your thoughts on like the membership things with channels?
I am a member for a couple channels, and I think it's all right. I did, for some reason, it became available to me to have members, so I set that up. But I don't think anyone's become a member. At least I don't know where to find out if they did.
Right. What like my question is like what's the difference between being a member and not? Like what benefits? Like I know it's like, oh, early access, but it's like, yeah, I don't think
you can select you get to pick what the benefits will be.
Mhm.
Like I think I put like helping pick stories and getting mentioned in the video or something like that.
Huh.
But I'm just like a normal weird person. Why do you want your name mentioned in something where I'm talking?
Right.
'Cause I don't have that feeling like I'm a YouTuber just yet. It hasn't registered with me, I guess.
Huh. How?
If that makes sense.
Yeah. How? Yeah. That's. Well. Yeah. I can't believe that being scared just popped in. That's crazy. I wonder how
He's super cool.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I love his stuff. Have you seen like he's done like a couple short horror films like or videos? Have you seen those?
I have. Those are really good.
Yeah. I like those a lot.
Speaking of horror films, have you seen that? Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, speaking of short horror films, have you seen that what Unit 522 is coming out with?
Oh. I have to know.
I'm so excited for that.
Oh,
he is making a film and it looks really good.
Yeah, let's take a look at that. Let's take a look. Sorry, I just
Yeah, I think he's close to finishing up filming. He either finished or is close to finish.
Let's see. I think I saw something for that. What was it though?
I know he had a GoFundMe going for a while.
You know what I think would be interesting if I did do a membership? What I was thinking about was maybe doing like member exclusive videos, like just videos only members could see, but also doing like a tutorial on how to like start a channel, how to build it, and kind of like in terms of horror stories and like how to use Audacity, things like that, and how to like make a good thumbnail. And I think that's what I would kind of try to do with my exclusive like membership thing.
I think that's a really neat concept because there's a lot of people that are fans of the horror narrating that think it'd be fun to get into.
Oh yeah.
Like I always thought it'd be fun to get into, but I didn't know how, didn't know what to do. But being scared actually talked me into it during a live stream.
Really?
Between him and Let's Read, because
what?
Let's Read, for some reason he messaged me. I'm on his
you are
Discord
on
server.
You're on his Instagram. I saw you on there.
Yeah, he follows me on Instagram and stuff, and I mod on his Discord server. But he messaged me one day and is like, "Hey, random, but I'm thinking about maybe having fans on during like the first 10 minutes of a live stream. Would you be interested?" I didn't even have a mic or anything at the time, so I had my gaming headset. I was so nervous. Oh my goodness, I was nervous. But he had me on, and he was like, kept talking about, "Hey, have you ever thought about trying to do this?"
That's way cool.
I think I'd be too nervous and awkward, but we talked about it a little bit, and it made it sound like, maybe I should do this. In between, him and being scared, I was like, these guys are really big, and they know what they're doing, and if they think I might be good at it, heck, I guess I'll give it a try.
Right.
And here we are.
That's really cool. I actually didn't know that. about you. That's really cool.
And then he's had me on a couple videos as well, but
I know that Darkness Prevails had you on, but I didn't realize Let's Read did as well. That's really cool.
Darkness Prevails is another really, really cool guy.
Yeah.
I messaged him asking if I could use a song of his on his YouTube because he makes music.
He makes music as well?
Yep, he produces music, like piano music, eerie, creepy stuff.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And I was like, hey, I saw it's for use on YouTube, but I wanted to double check with you because I already obviously followed him because I was a fan for a few years. And he listened to my stuff, which sucked so bad at the time. And asked me, like, hey, do you want to do 5 stories in this video? Like, what? And then he paid me to do it, which is like, what are you doing? What on earth are you doing?
Crazy.
And then he had me on a second time.
Wow.
His
That's really
fans are
cool.
mean, though.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. That's crazy.
Almost lady with the potato mic comment.
Yeah, that's one thing I really like about my fans. I've had I think one comment that was mean, and the rest have been awesome. And it's funny too, like it's like, all right, you don't like my stuff, you can, I don't want you to leave, but if you don't like it, I'm not gonna force you to stay. That's really funny. Did you know, and I did not know this, but Unit 522, Uncle Unit or whatever, he does stock videos. Did you know that?
I did not.
And they're good. Granted, his channel only has, like, his other stock video channel only has like 300 subs, but they're good.
Yeah, I didn't know about that, which surprises me.
Yeah, that's crazy, and that makes it kind of makes me think, like, what other things, like, I've noticed other YouTubers starting to do music, starting to do arts, tattooing even, but it's like, and it's like, I wonder what other thing I could do, what other side gig I could do to kind of get out there.
Do what I do and do stupid videos on TikTok.
Oh my gosh, that's really funny.
Which
I wonder if you could
works.
do, what I wonder would be like a really good genre to do for TikTok would be like horror TikToks. Like, I feel like that'd be cool.
Those are really popular.
Are they?
Something I see a lot of, which, because I'm a mod on 2 Cents Horror, we get really frustrated with it. People steal a lot of stories for their TikTok accounts. And then I always get all butthurt, and I would comment on them like, hey, I'm a mod on this sub, did you ask permission? And they get all mean to me and block me. But
oh jeez,
it is really popular. And then, like, with what, like, we're talking about a Lighthouse, that's what he's doing. He's doing horror content.
oh jeez.
I'll have to find and send you his TikTok.
Yeah.
I followed him, but it's...
Yeah, gosh dang it, I gotta make a separate one, because I made one for, like, my, I wasn't planning on using it, I just wanted to have one. Like, I don't even look at TikToks, and I made it under, my name, like, my real name, but now I gotta go in and change it, because, I mean, I have an Instagram, but I don't have it under Entropic Society, like, obviously because you're friends with me on there, but, yeah, that's really funny, though. I had no idea. Well, and I feel also like that'd be really awesome with, like, that's a super awesome segue, like, going from TikTok to, like, oh, you like my TikToks? Go check out my YouTube. Because that's where I actually go and make...
try that one day.
That's where I actually make money, So that's really cool. I'll have to look that up. I had no idea. I'm going to definitely be posting a screenshot of being scared. And Jensen being in my chat, that's really cool.
That is extremely cool. I always get excited when people come and show support during my live streams.
Right. I don't know.
Like sometimes Unit will come, or your maker.
Right. Do you feel, let me ask, I think I've asked you this, do you feel like being a girl in the horror genre, do you feel like that has a benefit or a downside or anything like that, or?
I don't feel like there's a benefit,
Mm-hmm.
just because I've always felt like everyone treats each other equally.
Mm-hmm.
I do feel like it's kind of because, with the exception of a few, I
Mm-hmm.
always prefer to listen to men read.
Right.
Um, it's just I like the way it sounds better, with the exception of like, oh, I can't think of names right now, like Raven reads, and
Yeah.
there's a couple others, but I just feel like it's not. A lot of people are more into listening to men read, which
Yeah.
is fine. Everyone has preferences to what their ears like, but
Right.
then there's still people that, oh, I love your voice, it's soothing. I love hearing female narrators, stuff like that. So
Right.
I'd say I don't think there's any real advantage or disadvantage that I've noticed.
Because what I've seen is I feel like it's a break even, where I remember doing. I don't know if you remember the Wizard of Words. Desamplify did like not last year but the year before.
Yeah, I remember that.
I remember going against Spirit Voices, and her fans were like obsessed with her. I mean, granted, it was justified because she's an amazing narrator and content
Oh,
creator.
absolutely. She's one of my favorite female narrators.
But I mean, they were absolutely just stunned. And like before she even started reading, they're like, "Oh yeah, she won." And I'm like, "All right, that's fine." On the flip side, I was voting for it too, so I can't complain. But on the flip side, I have seen a lot of people, I think obviously from your experiences as well, but like be mean to female narrators where I don't feel like they get taken as seriously, which makes me sad because I personally think they're great. But I feel like it's a break even. Either you have like a really infatuated following that love it, or you have people, outsiders, being very, not accepting to that. I feel like it's either or.
I have seen both being on, like, that was some of the comments when, like, Let's Read or Darkness Prevails had me on. I'd see comments like, oh, I just don't like the female voice or something like that. But then you also, like, with big channels, a lot of the time people, they come there to hear that guy or
Right.
whoever, and they're like, oh, who's this? This isn't what I came expecting.
Right. It's like when you order food and then you get something else. Like, you're not gonna like it unless it's really, really, really good, because you're expecting the one thing.
Oh, yeah.
And so, and especially with like a lot of people, like difference is like different. Anything that's different is bad, which is kind of a sad thing to think about. But that's yeah. But I'm kind of trying to put like a game plan together, because I remember Slumber Reads. I want to see if I can find it, but he posted like his progression that he's had on his Twitter, and that like super inspired me. Because he's like, yeah, my first year I got like 500 subs. Second year I got like 3,000 subs or 2,000 subs. My third year I got like 10,000. It showed me like a channel like his, which is I think at 90,000 or 85 or 80 or something. Like it seems like it doubles each year almost, or it exponentially grows. Let me see if I can find it. But like that really inspired me, and so I'm kind of like trying to find different things. What do you think's helped you with what do you call it, like with your growth?
I feel like consistency, and then remembering to share it places helps a lot. Because I feel like I'll gain some more traction when I go and I'll post it on various places in Reddit, or just remembering to go and share it elsewhere. Besides, I always try and share it on Twitter, but even then I forget that sometimes, because I'm like, oh, I'm exhausted. I spent the entire day on this video. Get it out, and I'm gonna go take a nap.
Yeah.
And then I just forget to share it.
Yeah, I didn't. Holy crap! Slumber Reed's got 57,000 followers on Instagram, or not Instagram, Twitter. That's a ton. Yeah, I remember. Oh my gosh, I would post a lot on Reddit, and I've stopped Yeah, I've stopped doing that because people just now Reddit, on the other hand, they say a lot of mean things. They're like, it's like these stories are stupid, like it's all the same, and like they'll be like stories I've written, and I'm like, they're not the same, it's a new story. So I'm like, all right. So I've just kind of stopped. I've kind of just stopped with them. They have nothing. Yeah. It's like
Reddit can be a very mean place.
Yeah. What's like the joke where it's like, I mean, obviously you're like a mod on there, but like, what's the joke where it's like, oh, all the Redditors or the mods are all neckbeards, and like I don't know.
True.
Yeah. It obviously isn't true. You're secretly a guy that. Have you seen like the joke behind that though, where it's like they're like all the mods are like grooming people? Have you seen that?
I haven't.
Oh, it's like.
But now I want to.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know what that meant, so I had to Google it. But like, it's like where the mods like interact with people like that are like female or boys or whatever, and they get them to like fall in love with them by like interacting. I don't know. It's funny. Like I can't explain it, but it's funny. Yeah, it's trying to find
just by having that. Is it kind of similar to like the Discord mod jokes? Like, oh, I'm a Discord mod, and I'll have to find a meme and send it to you.
Yeah. Oh, I've seen the Discord mods where it's like they're they appear to be like obese and have like bad hygiene and stuff like that. Yeah, I've seen those. Those are funny. Have you seen the one where it's like someone's commented on it's a video, and someone commented, it's like, oh, this is this is what a Discord meme, or this is what a Discord mod looks like, and that comment had 2 million replies.
Oh my goodness. I haven't seen that, but that's hilarious.
Yeah, and it's obviously like people are just arguing with this guy. It's just really funny. Oh, okay, I found it. Let's see. I'm gonna share this with you, I think. How do I copy this? So yeah. Were you watching any of the football today?
I wasn't, no. I was sacrificing my soul to Overwatch again.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty much all I do.
You know what you should do? You should do live stream that.
I do once in a while.
Do you really?
Yeah. I usually don't leave them up. But I do stream them once in a while.
I was about to say, I would probably, yeah, because I feel like your talents would be a lot more useful doing video games and being on here with me on my channel. I'm going to send this to you.
This is way more.
Yeah, I just sent you the Slumber Reads thing where his subs went up. But yeah, yeah, I don't want to keep you here all night. I just like rambling about stuff, and that's the thing is, if people don't tell me to stop, I just keep going.
I tend to do that too. I'll just keep talking.
Yeah.
It's coming up on 11, so I probably should.
No, absolutely.
Soon.
Yeah, I probably should go too. Thank you for being here. I can tell you just right now that having you here brought the energy that was able to summon Jensen and being scared, which is huge. And I personally thank you for that. Thank you for
you are very welcome.
Bringing your energies to that.
Well, thank you for having me on tonight.
Absolutely. And hopefully we can do this again sometime, whether on my channel or yours. Preference does not matter to me. I just like catching up with you. You're a good friend of mine and a great content creator. I like picking your brain. I feel like you do a lot of great stuff, and I'm glad to have you.
Well, thank you. I always always enjoy these streams. I was actually thinking about them the other day, so
Yeah, they're a lot of fun.
we will have to do them more often.
Absolutely. Well, hey, take care, and I hope to talk to you soon.
All right, talk to you soon.
All right, we'll see you.